Happy Fruitful Friday. We normally do Thursdays, but we have a special guest tonight. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm not sure if the other two co-hosts are jumping in. We will see. I'll bring her on now. Hey,
Hello, hello.
happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. I was trying to share, couldn't share.
Uh,
You didn't have it where I could share.
uh-oh. Where's
Excuse my
that
background, y'all.
at?
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
uh, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. Can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Drinking my water, trying to stay up on my water.
I understand it, but
Yeah, yeah, got to the
out of my
weather.
system. Yeah,
We stay on water when it's hot, but we need to do it too when it's cold.
yeah.
So get right into it. Any introductions, who you are, what you do, what you got planned.
Well, my name is Jessica Van, and I am the president of the Northern Nevada Black Culture Awareness Society, also known as Nepkist, and I'm also an entrepreneur. Uh, my business is called J May Creative, where we pretty much are just all things creative, creative strategy, consultation, direction, graphics, photography, videography. I don't do it all, but I got a team. But yeah,
Uh,
we do the most.
that's good. And
Yeah, introduction, all that.
are you based out, or are you home based? Are you out of Reno or out of
Yep,
Nevada?
yep. Born and raised in Reno, and have been back here for some years now, about 5 or 6 years.
Mm.
And uh, so fortunately, I don't have an office at the moment, but I do have a home. So yeah, I pretty much work from home.
Yeah.
So
Is do you feel like it's easier to work from home or like in the office or
well, as you could hear, one thing about like interviews or like Zoom calls and stuff like that, like it's just kind of, it is what it is. You don't
Yeah.
really have any qualms about it. Um, I did have an office at one time, and would never go. So that should tell you something about having an
Is
office.
it? Yeah. It's probably more comfortable to be at home. We love the kids, so the noise is always good to hear the kids running around. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Hello, Jamila.
Jamila, hello. And what do you do as the president of the NBCAS?
Of Nepkis, we
Napkins.
basically, I be trying to figure out how to say this in a way that's just pretty much layman's terms, because you got to give the formal stuff all the time. I just want to say it like this: we are the educators. We intend to be the community hub, and we want to show kids an opportunity to experience Black culture, even if they're not Black, for one, but
Mhm.
especially if they are Black, because we don't want them to learn what being Black is like on the internet. So we
Yeah.
want to provide the sense of community. And I don't know how long you've lived here, but many of our families outside of Black Springs lived in Northeast Reno, the Montello area, up to McCarran and around and down.
Mhm.
Like, we were all there. So we don't have that sense of community like that anymore. People have kind of spread out. And so it's our intention to kind of, if not digitally, if nothing else, kind of bring that community back together. And then also we put on some pretty fire events so that we can engage together. So our last event we just had was the Dr. Martin Luther King Gala. She gonna get the baby. The Dr. Martin Luther King Gala, and our next event is tomorrow, which is FanFest, which is an amazing event.
Yeah.
It's pretty much how we're going to give back to our community. Just one of the many ways. Another event we put on, if you've never been, is Juneteenth, and that feels like a big old family reunion, and it's always beautiful, great,
Oh.
great experience.
Yes,
So
we went to it last year. We went last
yes,
year or the year before last. I'm getting my years mixed up, but it was so fun because we go out and we normally like maybe the only black people out where we go, and we gonna step in there anyway, one way or the other. But that felt just like party, just like everybody out, like people I ain't never seen before. Like where y'all been? So
right,
we love Juneteenth, and we look
yes,
forward to going to it and partying. They played all the jams, had us out there hitting the two step and everything. So yeah, that was
yep.
good.
That's that's definitely the intention. Not only that, but there are several resources community wide that people might not know, or even if they do know. For instance, FamFest is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that's an insurance provider. We were saying to them, well, we want y'all to come and teach about the misnomers of Medicaid, and that some people don't think they can get Medicaid, or they can't afford it, or they have to be on welfare in this way, or have some kids, and that's not all true. And so one of the presentations tomorrow is going to be just that, to teach people what the truth is about getting Medicaid. Because that, number one, if I know that I can get Medicaid, then I can go see about my health. That improves my health overall. Say something else was going on where I didn't have a place to stay. Well, better health, I have less worry about that, and then I can fix whatever credit here. Like basically enhancing the quality of life slowly but surely. So
Yeah.
that's just one example. We'll have Bank of America there. We'll have several different vendors from all over the city to just kind of provide information for the community. And then of course we're gonna have games and fun stuff. Just I was telling somebody it's gonna be like winter Juneteenth. so we like to have fun. We like to have
Yeah.
a great time,
Mhm.
and that if we can give and provide information for families that might not know, and have a good time at that, I think that that's something that's worth putting on. So,
Yeah. One is
and
a
it's a,
one stop shop. One stop shop, one stop event, man. Everything
yeah,
there. Give us a little bit of everything.
yeah, because I mean, we like having fun. First of all, if I'm gonna pull
Mhm.
you out of the house in
Mhm.
this time, in this weather, and in this pandemic, because we still in it. If we,
Yes.
you know what I mean? If I pull you out the
Yes.
house, it's going to be something that you can take home with you. If it wasn't just a great experience and memory, might be a piece of information you never knew you needed. I just want to make sure that we as a community, because first of all, I love being black. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love
Yes.
being black,
Me
and
too.
I'm from right. I'm from Reno, right? I'm from Reno,
Uh-huh.
where first of all, look at how I look. Dark skin, juicy girl. My representation is not so much here. And
Mhm.
so for the that I am just in having that love, because that came from my family. I'll say my family would always say, "Y'all don't need makeup. You look fine how you are." That kind of stuff. In
Mhm.
that, I want to give that same love for being black to our kids and to our community, because I feel like this kind of place, it's not so much that it's we hate being black, or that we're not taught to love who we are,
Mhm.
but that we don't see it. So, you know what I mean? This small town, they're gonna push the rodeo, they're gonna push all these other things, but you might not ever hear nothing about Juneteenth unless we promote it.
Unless we do it ourselves. We got to do it
Right.
ourselves.
So then you think that you in this little pocket of area that nobody's here, nobody knows, what's going on, and you don't have the same experiences, you're more apt to leave. So that's another thing. If we're gonna be here, we might as well like being here. So if I
Yeah.
love being black, and I love and I need to get some information, and I want to loving where I live, then I'm going to make sure that it's a great experience all the way around, not just for me, but for everybody else.
Because nobody's coming to save us but ourselves. So if
Straight up.
if you want it to have it. We got to do it ourselves. Unless somebody else gonna do it, and we gonna be the only two, three black people in there. I asked this question on one of my other shows, one of the other episodes. I'm like, where do the black people party at? And I don't. I'm still not
I don't,
sure.
right, right. So that's what I'm saying. There's not, and not even just even on a party for a party to step out,
Mhm.
right? What if it just one day an open mic? You know what I mean? Or you want to
Yeah.
hear some spoken word, or you want to hear a jazz band. You know what I mean? Like there are those things, but when there's less people that look like us, you're less. You don't want to go as much. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So got it. I don't know. Got to work in the community. That's what you're doing. Got to work in the community. Get ourselves out there. Do footwork, more events. Kind of harder when it's like look the weather look like this. It's cold. It's snowing, but just gotta get out there. That's it.
right, yeah. Let me ask you, how long have you lived here?
Should be going on 6 years.
6 years.
Going on 6 years. Yep.
And in that 6 years time, do you feel like you have been a part of community here? Just outside of like events, like do you feel like you've been
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I've been part putting ourselves out there, like probably just going to parties in certain places like Shims. Shims is black owned. They do jazz night. They do spoken word, and we march. So it just I guess it depends on how we look at if I feel like I've been part of the community. We marched. We marched in the pandemic. We was in a newspaper. And people like, y'all marching in the pandemic. I'm like, yeah, shit, they still killing us in the pandemic. So
right, right,
we still gotta get our voices out there. That pandemic
right,
ain't stopping nothing. We out there with masks on and our hoods on, but seem like the only way to get our voices heard at this point, unless we doing footwork. We from Oakland, so it was more diverse out there. It was more diverse out there. The parties we went to looked it was diverse, and majority of people looked like us though. So I'm like, where do the part people come out at the events? That's where I see everybody. Like, where y'all be at? Is it Sparks? I
right.
heard it was Sparks, and now I don't hear it's Sparks no more. So, and it's a lot of businesses closing. So,
That's a whole nother conversation. I feel
mhm.
like we can go down the pipeline of what's
Yeah,
lacking in this community, and then on top of that, what's lacking that's black specific. And
yeah.
that though there's not many of us, there's still enough of us to keep some kind of thriving, consistent stuff going on
Mhm.
as far as events and as far but you're right, like this weather is horrible and so we don't want to go out, but maybe we need to do more digital things like this podcast, or
Yeah.
attending, there's ways to do things where we still develop community. So
Mhm.
I feel like, first of all, you being from Oakland, I feel like anybody, and this is not to sound offensive because I don't think that's the case here, but
Mhm.
if it does, I hope not.
Uh,
Um, I feel like everybody in Oakland got a little bit of activist like born in them, like instilled in them,
yep.
because I know that's the birthplace of the Panthers. First of all, I really I really okay. Uh, I really feel like those types of program or those types of organizations are still vital today. And so coming from that kind of area in Oakland where y'all have programs, and things aplenty, even though the media wants to make it seem like it's nothing but bips and all that stuff going on.
Crazy it is. It is. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of
I
both.
it is a little bit of both, but what I'm saying is okay, let's think of it this way. If all I heard of was bad coming out of Reno, would I want to live here? No.
No.
But yet, gentrification has taken over in Oakland to the extent of people can't live in certain places because the rent where it normally was has increased 10 to 20 times, right? So
Yep.
if I put out in the media, yeah, it's a bad place to live, yeah, this place is not where you need to be, blah blah blah. There's good and bad in every city,
Mhm.
but it's the media, you know what I mean, how it's been put out. How is it that it's bad, it's crime filled and all this stuff, and not worth the value, and everybody's leaving, but yet you have these people coming to take over these homes that these people now can't afford, and remodeling them and renaming neighborhoods to suit their little cute needs. You know what I mean?
Not
What
their
I'm
little
saying is
cute needs. Yeah.
yeah, what I'm saying is there's still value.
Mhm.
That same thing is going on right here in Reno, Nevada, right here in Northeast Reno, where homelessness is a problem, houselessness is a big bad issue, but we are still slowly but surely getting gentrified. I feel a way about this Audi uh, thing that's going on. Have you drove down Audi?
Nuh-uh. No, that's
Audi
is that
Boulevard.
going towards Sparks, or is it at Sparks?
It's
Yeah.
going
No.
towards Sparks or coming from Sparks,
Mm, yeah.
going back to Rio, and they're building these walls up, and it's supposed to be a beautification project, but it looks like it's blocking out the ghetto.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
told you, let's talk about it. Let's have these
Yeah.
talks. Like to
And it's
me,
happening everywhere. We slowly seen it happen in Oakland. Like the prices. Like you said, we could pay these prices, but you gotta work 4 or 5 jobs. That's just for the rent. But then they like, well, where are your kids at? They say they're at home, but we're not there to watch them. We have to pay this rent.
right,
Now
right,
the jobs is gone. The sports teams is gone. The jobs is gone. What's left? People
right,
more crime and pushing us out. The rent's not stopping. The bill's not stopping. But they telling doctors out there, don't go take your break in your car because people is robbing you. These are the people that have to save us at the end of the day.
right,
So if you can't go take a break just to get refresh your energy, to get some fresh air, go do whatever, go to call your family, check on your family, go take an hour break outside of work. These are the people that are supposed to be saving us. Overworked, underpaid, and now they not safe.
right.
What happens with the crime going up? People have to go to the hospital, but then these are the people that can't take a break. I wouldn't want nobody working on me that work 12, 15 hours straight and can't go take a break and get some fresh air. So
Right. And I'm stealing and committing crimes because I don't have no other way. I don't have no job. I'm not employable. Why? Because I screwed up in school. Why? Because I didn't have the attention that I needed from both home and school because my teacher's overworked. My mama's overworked. It's like it's a vicious cycle. And it's like, it seems like it's kind of like snowball. It's not quite out of control, but it's just to a point where we really have to examine. We don't have the Al Sharptons or whatever your community leader was in your town. We don't have them no more. It's us. And so because of that, like we gotta like wise up and start moving real fast. And not all the time is it a march. Sometimes it's feeding kids breakfast. Sometimes it's, you know what I mean, making sure that the moms have diapers like Black Wall Street's doing, making
yeah.
sure, you know what I mean, black-owned businesses are getting supported, like Krista's doing at this pop-up, making
Yeah.
sure families have resources, information. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely, we're getting the work done, but it's just now we need to kind of come together and be more of a force, and so that we can show our community in specific that we're here, that we're small in number, but we're mighty and powerful in voice. And number one, we're mighty and powerful in dollar spend. And
Yeah.
so,
They
you know
don't
what I
move
mean?
without us. They can't move without us. If
Right,
we don't do it first, it's nothing. It's no movement at all. Like TikTok a couple years ago, they was all the black people was doing the dances as usual. The others was getting the recognition for it. And
right,
once we stopped doing the dances on TikTok, it wasn't nothing else left to do. Where's the
right,
dancers at? No, because y'all copying us, but y'all getting the recognition for it. Y'all going on the shows. Y'all didn't make it viral. We made it viral, and y'all just got seen. So,
right. Like many other
um,
things.
mhm. Yeah,
Have
they
you seen
taking the
Elvis,
book.
that Elvis movie?
No,
The Elvis
I'm
movie
not
kind of gives the
sure.
same.
Yeah.
They like celebrate that he bit off of. Like they think that that looks like an homage, but like it looks like a celebration of him biting our culture. Like is these
They always
TikTok
gonna say somebody else did it. We brung out rock and roll. We brung out they just gonna take
country?
it from us. Yeah, they just gonna
Yeah,
take it from us and say, "Oh no, we did it." That's because yeah, y'all teaching us what y'all want to teach us. Y'all not gonna give the kids black books. They taking the African American books out of schools and out of libraries. We gotta fight for that. So we
right,
don't teach ourselves. If we not teaching ourselves, who gonna teach us? Or we
right.
gonna learn what they want us to learn? We gonna learn what they
There's
want us to
that.
learn. So.
Just like a critical race theory that they don't want to discuss it because it's the truth. And that's horrible. So what we need to do, that's like what our job is to do, is to come and bring that education to our kids. That maybe it doesn't have to run through the school system, that we should be educating our children just as much. Like that's what we're talking about, the Black Panthers. That to me is another thing I idolize about them. I really loved is that this is the first weapon.
Yeah.
Forget guns, is this. And I tell my son, I told him all his life, nobody can take away your education. And
Nothing.
so like
Nobody.
we need to find out and figure out how to get other parents involved and get people involved in our community
Mhm.
that uh, we can help our children
Yeah.
because it's not and this is the other part, pot stirring, right?
Mhm.
I don't want to have to fight and compete with people that look like me when there's so many more things out here that need to be resolved, that we're enjoying the benefits of somebody's labor, but at the same time, we fight each other. We
Yeah.
fight each other, and there's so much more to be had, but we're too busy in our own way. So I'm like, I would
We
like,
supporting the people that don't need that want we support the people that don't want our support, that don't need our support, that shouldn't have our support. Why y'all asking us for discounts on everything we do, but then y'all not going to Nike, Macy's? Had this conversation yesterday. Nike, Macy's, the corner store, nowhere asking for discounts.
right,
So you go ask me for a discount because I make apparel, but you half of these people, y'all, they don't want us wearing Gucci, Balenciaga, all that stuff. Nobody, they don't really want us wearing that. But if we don't buy it, who else gonna buy it? No, they not gonna wear it without us wearing it first.
right.
Nobody's gonna wear it without us wearing it first. So
Well, my thing is this about the economy is we do shape how things are put out, but we aren't taught. You're talking about education, right? We
yeah,
weren't given the education to have real business acumen. We have hustle mentality for sure. We're gonna go
yeah,
get it for sure. But that's not the
one way
same
or the
thing as
other.
real business
Mhm.
acumen. We got good work ethic even, right? But business acumen, that's a completely different thing. And when you learn business and to be professional and what you do and how you put things out, it changes the game. And so I think you also get an understanding of why we feel like we need to get a discount from people that look like us, from Black folks, but we don't ask for that from Balenciaga, etc. Number one, that's a branding thing. We are branded Black people in this country as low class, less than, knockoff, even though as many of us know that that's not the truth and that we really are the fabric of why the country has, the vibe it does, right?
Yeah,
But we are branded as negative. Everything is always on a negative light. However, when we wear it, when we rock it, when we, put it out, then everybody wants it. So it's even seen as like Balenciaga or like a Louis Vuitton. Those things are it's just regular clothes that you know what I mean? But it's because it was branded in a way that this is opulence, this is luxury, and if you have it, and guess who pushes the narrative? We do. In the hip hop videos, I got a Rolly, I got a this or that or whatever you say in the hip hop videos. We're the one that pushes that narrative. Oh nigga, we made it.
Mhm.
This is what we wear when we make it. Although you'll see wealthy people, real wealthy people, you don't ever see them even have a label on. It's not
They
benefiting
shopping
from
at
anything.
Walmart. They shopping at
Yeah.
Walmart, Target, Macy's. Like, yeah, that's what they shopping at. That's how they save with their money.
Yep.
We wanna look rich and look like we got money, but spending all our money on these clothes.
Or just
Not
on
down
the
talking to anybody or just the name brands. It's just name brands at this point.
right.
Jordan, they buying Jordans up, and he not even under the business no more. His wife took over the name. It's just his name. He ain't
Yeah.
want that business. He ain't owned that business in years. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna make money though. And um, music. I was sort of asked, do you think music has a certain impact on our community?
Most definitely does. Most definitely does. But to me,
Sure.
uh, I think of it this way: music is more a reflection of our everyday lives. You know what I mean? As opposed to, but it's kind of a cycle. So the point of NWA putting out the rap that they did was to reflect on their everyday lives, being pulled over by cops, getting beat by cops and stuff like that, gang member life. Some of it might have been like exaggerated, but for the most part, that's how it is in that culture, right? But at the same time, little Timmy over here in Nebraska hears "fuck the police," excuse my language, but but he hears that song and he thinks, "Oh well, that's cool. It's cool to look like this. It's cool to do this." And this person reflecting their everyday lives, they've made it. They turned it into a culture, like a cool trend.
Hmm.
And so, because like we've been saying this whole thing, because people look at what we do as fashion forward, as idea forward, then that's how they adopt us. Is, oh, this is what this is. But this is to me what is the worst. Not Americans, it's Africans that are trying to emulate our cultural lifestyle, and we're trying to be like y'all. We're trying to remember how you were or how you are because this is where we're from, and we are such an influence. Like it's crazy, honestly. It's a good thing, but it's crazy at the same time that we are such an influence because of losing our identity in the meantime. So, like, how do we together culturally, as even with Afro beats and stuff like that? It tries to sound like us. They try to sound like us. Like they try to modernize it. Like I want to know traditional. I want to hear traditional sound, like Fela,
Hmm.
and way earlier than that. So I'm trying to figure out because we are such this mesh pot, we've kind of spilled over to the world. Like I think that musically we influence, but it like it's hard to explain. Like we have the influence, but what we need to do is gain from the other from other cultures, from those that does maybe a different principle than what we have.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you know,
And they pushing what they want us to see. We don't see Nipsey music getting pushed, J. Cole music getting pushed, Kendrick Lamar music getting pushed. They pushing what they want us to see, and what they want the world to see us as. All black people are not evil. All black people don't just whatever the stereotypes they got against us. And that's
right,
what I feel like that's what they're showing more in social media to get away with the stuff they're doing. There's a lot of stuff going on, and everything's at our fingertips now. So it's not being hid as much. You could take the books from us, but you gave us the books is in our hands now, and they're on the phone. So we don't have to have books
right. I can pop in my headphone and listen to a whole book, no problem.
anymore. Yeah. Hmm.
So, but even then, even then at that, with that, we're still at a point now, even with AI, that we can manipulate it there. So it's just a matter of like, are we focused or are we, like, what can we do to make sure that we are moving with the times. Even though there's the dichotomy that we set the trend, we're still behind in how the trend moves, which is weird.
Yeah. We don't have the equity.
Oh, exactly. I was going to say we're still behind in how we profit from the trend. We set the
Yeah.
trend, but we need to learn how to get a return on investment.
hmm Do it like Shaq. When Shaq started getting his endorsements, he'd be like, he was like, I can endorse that, but I need to be able to be an owner into it because you're gonna get money. You're gonna keep good money off of my name. Gonna be, I'm gonna get one check and that's it, and you're gonna still be using my name. So everything that he in commercials on is a business of his. He like, y'all not just gonna use my likeness and my name and I get paid once and then y'all getting billions and billions. So everything that he you see him on commercials, all that, is his part of his brand and his business. So that was good because if not, we're not getting paid our worth. You're gonna
Right,
show us for years to come and we only got one check.
right,
So they'll use us, whoever gonna use us until we stand up for ourselves.
right,
'Cause if not, history is going to repeat itself because at this point they erasing it. They erasing our history as usual and taking it back and use it and spitting it back at us as theirs. And like you said, the Oakland Panthers. I used to love. It was my favorite classes in school: political science, American history. And I was just doing writing, like reading books and writing reports and stuff on them. And the kids would be like, "How she get straight A's, but she here, a class clown." My teachers would be like, "Well, she done did all her work, and now she might be disrupting class, but she done did all her work already." So,
I can testify with that. I think a lot of geniuses have a hard time in school. A lot of people that are really truly intellectually inept or in wise are they have no like real they can't follow the system. My son is one as well. Not that he's a bad kid. My son's not a bad kid at all. But I notice a lot of kids, especially creative kids or musically inclined kids, or people that use their hands, or they are less likely to have good grades in school, even though the comprehension of what's going on surpasses what they're testing, because that's the method of how they're learning. And I said to myself, I love music. I'm more creative, more visual learner. If someone like me had someone that could steer me in that way when I was, who knows what level, I could be in a completely different tax bracket for one, completely different stature of life. And that's another thing, kind of bringing it back to Nepkins, is that, oh, good, I can hear now. I can hear. uh, the the if I can bring it back to Nepkins, I will say that's another focus we have is alternate learning, and that every kid doesn't learn the same way, and that
yeah.
every kid should have the opportunity to learn in the way they learn. And
hmm
I mean, it's not like it's so many varied ways. However, there's enough difference in this, traditional learning standards that prohibits, kind of creative kids. And there's another part. Here's another part. Here's another part to that. We talk about the prison pipeline. That's, I feel like a lot of kids, a lot of men that are in prison are probably, that's why everybody's like, well, why you only get smart when you go to jail? No, they were smart before they went to jail. Number
Yeah.
one, you're not gonna run no drug operation being a dummy. Like no multi-million dollar drug you're not doing it being a dummy. You're not dumb.
hmm
You got some kind of business mind. Number two, in school, I got my son was in first grade, and his teacher would call about everything. Every little thing he did was such a drastic thing, and he was just. I said he needs to be challenged. He's had the option from since then to skip up a couple times, and did not
mm
because it seems like his behavior is irrational. But that's not the
mm
case. The reality of the matter is he just needed to be challenged beyond what was given. And that if you come at him with preconceived notion, if I say, oh, Donna, doesn't listen in class and she has a hard time focusing. If I go around in the teacher's lounge and say all of that, guess what? Every time you pass a class, what they gonna think?
That
You
you
know what
ain't
I mean?
listening.
You're right.
Hmm.
Even though I might have a deep love for the arts and I might have a deep love for political science and I might have a deep love for American history, my math teacher that I can't stand doing math is telling everybody this. And so I already have this preconceived notion before I even get into the classroom. And so now I'm already counted out because I don't
Hmm.
meet your traditional metrics and your traditional standards of how to learn, which by the way was based on the industrial system, you know what I mean? And that
Hmm.
it's teaching you basically how to work in the factory. Work from this time to this time, do this, come home with this. Like that is that's how we are taught to learn. It's based on working, going to work, and not on entrepreneurship and not on, maybe you have a
Taxes.
creative. Exactly.
Teach us the
That's what,
stuff that we're gonna use: taxes, financial, credit, how to
right,
buy a house, the how to farm and make your own vegetables, not the stuff that you want us to spend our dollars on. That we have a problem with the doctors, so we have a problem with the medical system and the education system, and when we try to change it, they get they switch it up, or they get rid of the people that is trying to teach us.
right.
They don't want to teach us the correct stuff, but then when we start looking up other stuff, like everybody don't do medicine. I don't do medicine. I donated an organ to my twin. And I thought I was gonna be on a lot of medicine afterwards, and they was like, "No, you don't get no medicine." I'm like, "Okay, well, good, because I don't really like take medicine." But um, just seem like they just pushing everything to have money.
Yeah,
We're not equal in the same apartment department as that. They want us to be better 100 times better, work 100 times more, and at the same time be able to control our household. We could balance it, try to balance it, but if you got us working 4 or 5 jobs to pay bills, yeah, our kids probably is outside, not in the house like they saying. We
right,
can't we can't be at work 24/7 and watching our kids at the same time. We
right,
could tell them what to do, how to be safe, and pray they do. But it got to be some kind of leeway. They don't want us united. They don't want us united anyway because they know how powerful it is. We is. If y'all push a narrative that we ain't doing nothing but drinking, partying, nothing wrong with that, or killing each other and gang banging, that's how the world gonna see us.
right,
So
right.
yeah, yeah.
And then to speak to that, I can say for this community, yeah, we are overworked and overpaid, but some of it's gonna just take sacrifice. You don't think they was
Mhm.
working? They was working for pennies, literally, during the civil rights movement. But
Yeah.
it's a sacrifice. Some of these revolutions are gonna have to happen outside of our comfort zones. All of them.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? These things you don't agitate and agitation is going against to make this thing change. So,
Mhm.
and even then you might change a little bit. If I'm two pieces of sandpaper, eventually, you know what I mean, it's going to smooth out or it's going to sharpen up or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm of the mindset that what we need to do in this community is if we figure out how to be the liaison between different community organizations and the community itself. And when I say different community organizations, I mean even corporations and businesses. Uh,
Mhm.
that we figure out how to kind of help each other out in those situations. For instance, if I know I got to go to this event, if everybody's going to be at this event, maybe I need to do on-site daycare, courtesy of
Mhm.
my daycare facility. If I know this is going to be some good information, we're going to get voters, we're going to get whatever, something that's going to benefit the community as a whole, I'm going to donate my time to do A, B, and C. We don't have
Yeah.
that community mindset. And it is because we all are tired and overworked. Trust me. My team,
Yeah.
my team and me, we are exhausted. But the thing is it's got to happen because nothing is really done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until we're at a
Elevating, it's just elevating and growing into something else. It's just
right,
changing the narrative, changing the word to something else. They just changing it. So
right. Because if we talking about the work that's done, ain't no work done because our kids are still failing. Our black kids are graduating at last rate in this county. Uh, what is our job percentage? It's gone up a little bit from what I was told, but still not to the point where there's many more of us that are, self sufficient in doing the things we need to do. There is just even on the sense of there's not even social. Uh, there's not even. Oh, sorry, I got a text. There's not even social events and things for us to have on a consistent basis. The work is not done because we're not a community. There are
mhm.
those of us here. We just live here, is what I basically said. We're not a community. We just all live in Reno, and there's a
Yeah,
difference. And it's not. I mean, I don't think that's a. I'm not saying it from a negative standpoint. I'm saying it from like I
mhm.
would love for us to come together. And you don't bang with everybody. I understand that, but at the same time, when you do, you know what I mean. Even if you don't, you can be amicable, civil enough. Let's hang out. Let's
Mhm.
get together and learning who we are in this community and how we can help each other. Like you said, they
Yeah,
don't want us to be. They don't want us to stick together because they know how strong we would be. They don't hate. They
mhm.
don't. They're not afraid of our hate. They're afraid of our love. Is what Tank said on Drink Champ. But I mean, it's real. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Mhm.
It's not. It's not. It's not when we're arguing with each other. It's not a problem. When we mad at
Yeah,
each other, you guys, you'll get over it, whatever. But when we start loving on each other for real, watch when stuff start getting a little itchy around here.
yeah. And that's I think this year kicked it off. Cat Williams and Monique. I think Cat Williams and Monique kicked it off. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
So
Well, let me tell you
yeah,
something. I don't look at that as being messy. I don't look at that as messy. I look at that as we talk about all these things we need, these injustices, these areas where we need to be healed, where we need to reconcile as a people. We don't know where
hmm,
we hurting unless we examine. So
yeah,
these exposing moments, they are for healing. They're for getting things better. The number one thing we don't have, and we always talk about this word, is accountability. You can't be accountable for
hmm,
something if you don't have it there to be presented as something you need to be held accountable for.
yeah.
So you need
We
like
need it exposed. If it's not exposed, it won't get changed.
exactly.
If
So
we just want to talk about it behind closed doors to ourselves and not to the people that's doing it and impressing us and keeping us oppressed, it's never gonna change. So we're gonna stay the oppressed people. We
right,
have to talk about it and not let them tell our story because everybody else want to tell our story. You can't tell our story. You can't
right,
tell us how we feel, how we should act, how to keep our emotions on tag, how to act one way in public, how to act one way at home. Not have to work. We all getting the same pay rate, but I'm working 100 times more than the next person. So Cat Williams, I love Cat Williams. I love Monique. They always gonna speak their mind, but why do we always want to kick people to the curb that speak their mind? And the people that look like us is the ones that's kicking us to the curb.
get them away, because they messing up our opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, they not messing. They can't mess your opportunity up. Everybody getting messed up. Monique said it. Monique said that a couple years ago how they was Amazon and or Netflix was messing up her pay, and then everybody, oh, she crazy, she crazy. And then Taraji came, not saying that nothing bad. Taraji came, now everybody's saying, oh yeah, that's the truth. It was the
Yeah,
truth when Monique said it, but what's the difference from when Monique said it to when Taraji said it?
right.
It's
And I
going
said,
on everywhere.
yeah. Well, I mean, Monique said it herself. She said it's the fat black woman. They don't respect, you know, the bigger girl, or they think of us as dumb, or we don't have any manner of intellect, and that's not true. As far as Monique is concerned, I believe her. I believe
Yeah.
everything Monique said for the most part about how she was treated with Tyler Perry, etc. I believe it. But two things can
Mhm.
be true. I also believe the intent of that is more to get a vindication for something that she might not ever get vindicated for. Like
Mhm.
she it's not gonna happen. It might not happen. And the problem is with that is you're gonna be you're gonna try to seek this out, and they're gonna forever hold that over you as the one thing you're not gonna have. And then you're gonna be stuck, living your life wishing you would have at least taken another route as far as not as far as sticking up for what's right, but as far as if I say this is something I want to do, why not focus my energy on independent media
Mhm.
such as this? We talk about how media is important. We don't really utilize the media that we have now.
Yeah. And
So I
while it's free,
right, I
you we
said
got use it while it's free.
right. Club Shay Shay, he better understand the power of his platform and don't be messy. And I
Mhm.
think he does get it. I think he gets it. But I feel like if he really realized, hey, you can be putting different perspectives on specific individuals. He had
Mhm.
Country Wayne on there. Country Wayne is very brilliant. You would never know from seeing him, being goofy and things of that
Yeah.
sort. But if you give some insight, just imagine who else he could have on that platform. And now that millions of people are watching because of these controversial interviews, imagine now I flip it and bring some more positive stuff to the light, or
Mhm.
some things you didn't know, or expose a situation where we as a people are being mistreated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Everywhere.
right, right. So to me, it's understanding the power of Black media, understanding the power of your story, and that is somebody that needs to hear what you have to say because
Mhm.
they might be going through the same thing or have even experienced it. Let's look at Diddy, right?
Yeah.
How many people, how many people have, one thing they nobody said was that it was a lie. I haven't heard nobody say
Nobody.
it was a lie. So that should say something. The other part is we all know this. This has been like a low key cultural thing that we know about Diddy as a people. I'm not saying that's none of my business, but at the same time, nobody's denied it. But at the same
Mhm.
time, so it's gonna be right in front of your face, and you're not gonna change it.
Nobody gonna speak on it until
Right.
one. It took Cassie to speak on it for everybody in the industry to speak on it. Why? Somebody with that much power, he. I don't even know if it's him against him with the power. How are y'all letting this happen?
He
Nobody
paid.
spoke about R. Kelly. We heard about about R. Kelly for years and since forever. And one person came out, and now then it just was a domino effect. But why? Why nobody's talking about it?
But that's what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
importance of telling your story. That's the importance.
Mhm.
If you find out that something happened to me, hopefully it gives you the courage to speak out about it too. That no, you're not alone, and that we
Yeah.
don't have that even as a people. We don't have the trust of each other. First of all, to hear the story, and then second of all, to have the courage to share that we are not alone in our experience. But the other
Mhm.
part about it is this: we know culturally, like a lot of things that we've dealt with, we talk about you'll see something and they're like, how have we all experienced the same life? Or how do we all have the same childhood? It's because we all
Yeah.
have similar experiences, but nobody's saying anything. We talk about the silly stuff, the goofy stuff, the feeling you feel when your mama didn't or when you didn't take the chicken out the freezer, that kind of funny, right? But we don't talk about the stuff that is important, like the cousin that got touched by the other cousin, or the this or the that. We don't talk about that stuff because it's too much trauma. So I'm like,
Slap on
just
the wrist. They get slaps on the wrist too. I
yeah,
came out. I came out about a family member, and they gave him 7 years and then 5 years for good behavior. I'm like, yeah, because he ain't got no kids to touch it there.
right,
He in jail with men. He ain't no kids for him to touch. So yeah, they go. He in there give good behavior. So won't nobody do nothing to him. But
right.
for that story, for me to have to take him to court and then him and his wife to court, and people in the family still dealing with them, it just makes me look at them different because it's like it's kids. It's no, it wasn't us. It wasn't. We didn't agree on nothing. It, y'all just still dealing with him. So women, black women don't speak up because people don't believe you. You get made fun of. Oh, Cassie just did it for the money. I don't think Cassie did it for the money. I think she was scared because wasn't nobody. She probably didn't have nobody to have her back. Now everybody got her back. Now that she done spoke out about it. Nobody's gonna speak out if you feel like it's gonna be you against the world. Literally, still after you spoke about it and they still know what happened, you're still talked about badly.
Yeah.
So,
It takes courage. It takes courage to go against the grain.
mhm,
It does.
they do. And
And
mental health.
yo,
Mental
yeah.
health, you have to be strong or willing to work on it because I'm not sure if just the black community, we some of us don't believe in it. So
No.
can't afford it, don't believe in it, might
I
not
feel
know a
like
way to go
people
about
like
it.
that should be free. I feel like why is it I mean, I guess if you consider I have to use my knowledge and information to help you process through some of this stuff, but I still think it should be a government funded thing that we get for free.
Mhm.
But of course,
Health,
we talk about our
mental health and medical health.
yeah,
Why? We can't afford it, and half the job's not gonna give it. So I have to pay $200, $300 out of my check to get it, and then Mike can't find a doctor. Mike
right.
can't find a dentist. Mike can't find a therapist. I looked for black therapists while the whole time I was out here. Nobody ever answered. Nobody ever called me back.
I got one
I'm
for you.
all
My therapist. I got one for you. She's
okay.
really
Yeah,
good. Very good.
I got one. I got one. I like her, but it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with it. I just was reaching out to black women. I'm like, sure, they can relate to me more. We the same, same everything. Nobody ever reached out to me. I'm like, that's concerning. Even if you don't have no openings, you could call me back. Be like, oh, sorry, we got a wait list or whatever. Nobody. I called like 7 people. I'm not even sure if they was even in business. Nobody ever picked up or responded. So that sometimes when you don't get an answer, it makes you go another way.
Right.
It pushes you to go another way. So I like to do different debates, stir the pot. I love it because a lot of people ask me why I started this platform, and it was because um, I didn't really know too much about podcasts. I didn't see. I would write Black Lives Matter on Instagram. I would like write protect our black women on Facebook, and they was, oh, this goes against our community guidelines. I'm like, how? But I just saw 5 videos back to back of somebody getting killed. But that goes against your community guidelines.
Right.
So then
All
Instagram
these
just
dead babies
kicked,
and
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Instagram kicked me off and was like, I don't know who you is. I'm like, yes, you do. You block me every other day. You know who I am. But I'm not gonna start a new Instagram because I keep having to send them a face video. I'm not gonna keep sending you my face. Y'all know who I am. Y'all block me. Y'all was blocking me like every 3 days. I'll be blocked for 3 days. They unblock me. I'll be blocked for another 3 days. I'm like, I'm not gonna keep not talk about what I want to talk about. So I just started this. I'm like, I'm just gonna start a podcast. I might get striked, I might not, but I'm still gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Y'all not
Right.
blocking me. Y'all can strike my page, but y'all not blocking me. I'm still getting community guideline things on Facebook. I'm like, I ain't even post nothing. And this is a fact check. It is a fact check. I read it. I didn't Google it. I read it in a book or I looked it up. But um, yeah, just to have us a platform, debate. You can debate. Everybody's not gonna have the same opinion. We could learn. Um, that's what I wanted to do. I've been doing Black History episodes all month, and just to let people know it is Black businesses.
Right.
Social media, Facebook and Instagram, not gonna show you all. Even if you say sale words, you say business words, they're not gonna show nobody it. So it's good to have a platform where you can repost and tag people and have people come to it.
Right. I think that one thing we also need to kind of start looking at as a whole is our own platforms, our own social media,
Hmm.
like creating your own social network. And
Yeah.
uh like if you have a podcast, you want a community, you build a community and on an independent platform so
Hmm.
that you can govern it how you want to, when you want to, where you want to, and that way people can't take you down, can't shut you up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got a what's his name? Rogan? Not Seth Rogan, but
Joe Rogan or
yeah, you got a
Joe.
Joe Rogan.
Mhm.
You got what's his name? What's his name? Dark skin or
Uh,
dark hair, old man, Howie Stern.
oh.
Stern. You know what I mean? You got
Mhm.
rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh, rest in peace. But you know what I mean? Like you got those kind
Mhm.
of people that stir the pot all the time, but because they don't look like you, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that they look like the acceptable look, they get to say whatever the hell they want to say, which is not cool.
No problems. And they talking about us. They not even talking about what they own stuff. Why are you bringing us up? You can talk
Right.
about us, but when we talk about us, we get striked in community guidelines, but they can talk about us.
Right. And to me that is like it's clear that y'all don't like us. It's clear. So, do I sit in your face or do I figure out just enough what I need to go make my own and serve my
Mhm.
own and be self sufficient on my own? But we had a conversation. I'm on another podcast, and I we had a conversation about this very thing that you'll only go so far, and they'll cap you or
Mhm.
they'll block you
Mhm.
at some level because we are not diversified enough in what we own. We should have our own StreamYard. We should have our own Facebook. We should have our own, you know what I mean? These things should be
Everything.
available to us at any time. But we don't have that access because we haven't diversified enough. Everybody want to braid hair or or sell plates or you know what I mean? Hey, ain't no problem. I sell plates. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
I was a cosmetologist
Mhm.
once upon a time, so I get it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, why not be the person that makes the bottles that the shampoo goes in so that you can help your
Mhm.
sisters or whoever to have solid packaging? Why not be the person that has the chemical lab that makes the, you know what I mean? Like, we need
Yeah.
to if I had that all the way along, like I gave an example. I'm gonna give this book. I'm in this class. Okay,
What
I
is
wrote
that? I can't see
this.
it.
This is not the book. This is not the example, but I'm gonna give you an example of the book.
Oh.
It's
Mhm.
the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. But so think about this book. You got pages. You got ink. You got to
Mhm.
make black inks. Well, a company got to make black ink. A company got to dye the pages white. So you got to get the bleach to make the pages white. You got to get this hardcover. Who makes this? Who makes the plastic on it? You know what I mean? Who makes the font?
Mhm.
There's several companies, several entities in this one book. We don't have that much diversity that I can lean on a black person every step of the way.
Mhm.
Once we get to that point, that's when we're starting to really work in our communities. And that I can down to the publisher. It's a black author, a black publisher from a black book manufacturer. The glue is from a black owned business.
Everything.
The truck
Mhm.
that came to bring it to me was a black person. It was a black courier like Amazon. I put, you know what I mean? Like until we can do that, we're not gonna have the ability to up level at all costs. The other part is when we learn business, since this is about black business, when we learn
Mhm.
business acumen, when we learn how to really develop our businesses and understand what scaling is and growing our businesses, and even we don't want to hear this one, even mergers and acquisitions, that is a part of everyday business. That's not a
Yeah.
problem. The problem
Life,
is
just life, period.
right. The problem is we don't have like everyone gets mad at hair care product people for selling to P&G. Well, hey, we need to be a P&G. If we have a P&G, then we can sell to the black conglomerate and give them opportunity to help us to help others to lift up to get to this black conglomerate and we spread the money around. We don't have that. First of all, capitalism is not going to quite work that way. But secondly, but secondly, we don't have it because there's no P&G that's black. or to understand that sometimes you don't have to hold on to dear life to the family business, that you can sell
Mhm.
it. And if you made one, you can do another. I think that's the other
Mhm.
part, is scarcity mindset. If you have a growth mindset and understand, if I did this, I can do it again and I can double.
Yeah.
Like if
And
we,
it's all right to be book smart. That's what I think. That's where we're getting away from.
it is,
It's all right to be book smart. You could be book smart and street smart,
yeah,
but
you should be both, honestly. You should
yeah,
have a little of both.
mhm, yeah. I love to read. I started a book club. I love to read, and a lot of people do ebooks now, and I don't matter. It don't matter to me as long as we reading, teaching
Right.
ourselves, reteaching ourselves, learning, relearning, because things is changing. Things is we going forward, we going backwards. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So if we could come together, unify, unity, whatever, and just have conversations how we can help each other
Yeah.
do the walk in the community. Asked the question Lua last night about how in Oakland, like the pastors and stuff used to walk through the neighborhood and talk and stop and talk to us, get off the corner, go into the neighborhoods. But it's not safe out there like that no more. But people, is anybody doing walkthroughs like out here, like talking to the communities, trying to pull the community together? Cause like I said, we go out, I don't see, unless it's at a black event, we don't see black people. It'd be us and maybe a couple others sprinkle here and there, but where are we partying at? Where are we meeting at?
Right.
Um, we love Krista. We do a lot of events with Krista. Go to her events. One of our friends. So yeah, want to start coming to your events. I never hadn't been seeing like none of them. So just get out in the community,
Yeah.
cause mentorship, something,
Yeah.
mentors.
Look, I got some ideas for you offline. So
All
yeah,
right,
just
yeah.
to,
It's been an hour and 2 minutes. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
no,
Um,
no, but I'm proud of you for continuing this. This is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Yep.
Thank you. I always wanted to do something like this, and my wife and my family and friends just pushed me like, do it. It'll never be a right time. If you're waiting for the right time, you might be just waiting. It might not ever feel right. So just do it. You can learn while you go. Learn on the go.
Right.
So just get your voice out there,
Yeah.
and yeah,
What's
yeah.
the saying? Jump the cliff and build a plane as on your way down.
I never heard of that one, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just uplift. We so drawn to the negativity and the drama and the craziness, and we would share that in a heartbeat. But when it comes positivity, is you want to just people just want a little bit more. It's like we gotta stay out so much of the drama. That's what people then they just want to put us all in the same box. No, we all not. We all don't act like this. We don't all dress like this. We don't all talk like this. We're not all dumb. We're intellects. We're kings. We're queens. We're royalty. Everything. So you don't just have to be an athlete or a dancer or a cook. You could be all that all at once. You could be
Right.
everything. Just happy to have this platform. Glad that y'all doing what y'all doing and can take it one day at a time. Take
Yeah.
work it one day at a time. That's it. So um if you got anything you want to say you got coming up, anything to look out for, your handles,
Sorry, my
websites or
iPhone.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, tomorrow, from 12 to 5 is FanFest, free for everybody. We're gonna have a good time, even if only a few people show. We're gonna still have a good time. Okay.
Mhm.
And after that, we're like I said, we're going to get active into our community and just becoming advocates. And so we want to get on our March 9th, we're going to have a parent pep rally at Hug High School again. and basically it's going to be like homecoming, pretty much like for kid or for the parents, and just encourage them and incite them to like be more active in their children's education and in the education process, and just whatever resources are available to them through the school district, our Black kids in specific, because
Um,
I had a conversation with the director of Parent University, which is a branch, like a service offered through the district, and she was saying we get very little participation from Black parents, and so we want to just basically like, hey, like your kids need y'all to be, like I said, it's us. There's nobody else here that's gonna, like you said, nobody's gonna save us. So for that, we need to make sure that we kind of incite that, and if they're in excited about it, we can ensure that the kids will come, even if maybe they don't want to be there. That at least we can start getting them to have conversation and start moving things around. The other thing, speaking of conversation, is on here on Facebook. There is a group that we started just yesterday, pretty much, and it's called Nepkiss Culture Conversations, and we're ready to have some really hard conversations, or just real conversation about what's going on or how we can do things a little differently in this city. And so I'm inviting everybody. There's people I don't know, so invite everybody that you can, that be interested in actually engaging in the conversation, and just speak from your standpoint, because you and we've been here. Even in the 6 years, we probably had completely different experiences, but then at the
yeah,
same time we probably had similar experiences. And I'm from here and you are not, and those things we need to learn about each other, like how do we experience Reno as a community, and what we can do to um let me say it this way: there are situations and certain systems that we don't really talk about, that are kind of starting to blare loud, like really become aggravating things, and we need to start addressing them, but we won't know until, like we said, we share our story.
yeah.
So I'm really excited about the things that are coming with Nepkiss. I know people think all we do is put on events, but we're ready to start showing, showing and proving that our programming is community based and is for you. Just and we want you to leave without just having a good time, but also leaving with some information and some knowledge, because knowledge is power, and that's all we have to give at the moment. I mean, we have more than that, but if I give you knowledge, you can go get the power to go get whatever else you want. You know what I mean, or whatever else you need in this world. So I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about everybody's events to come, and I just hope that we do more things together as a community,
Yeah.
and communicate. That's the other part. The community needs to communicate, because there's a lot of assumptions of how people are, or how they should be, or how things aren't going, or whatever, but it's a matter of getting an understanding. And if
Yeah.
we talk about it and we still don't have an understanding, maybe it's just the understanding that we're going to agree to disagree, and that's all right. But at the same time, if there's something I can do for you and it's going to help you in the long run, I'm going to do it, because you're my sister in this community. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to shy away from that. So I'm ready to see some stuff change for the better for us as a people. Like, I want us to love being here as Black people. Not that we
Yeah.
don't, but I don't want to just live here. I want to thrive in this city. So that's all I got to say. All I gotta say. I appreciate you for inviting me on here. I've had a great time.
Thanks for coming on. You're welcome anytime. If you know anybody else, any other people, we full for the month for the Black History episodes, but we might just go on into March because there's still people reaching out. But I'm like, I don't have nowhere to put y'all at this point. So yeah, thank you for coming on. Good to talk to you and pick your brain and hear about your events. Always welcome back. And guess we could talk offline about whatever else going on. And
Oh yeah.
some collabs or whatever else.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. Have a good night. Hope your event, praying your event goes good and well tomorrow, and give us some information.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Indeed.
Bye bye. Was somebody on there? I don't know. That's fine.